Hey everyone, welcome back to the Collector Chatter podcast. This is episode 11. Today's episode, we will focus on the Festival of Fun at ECCC. That'll be later in the episode. I'm Miguel, aka Migs, and I'm here with my co-host Charlie. We're here for another great week of conversations with collectibles. Right, Charlie? How was your week this last week?
Good week. Hope everyone saw our new logo that we dropped on our Instagram account, which I'm real excited about. I think it looks really cool, and it definitely shows off our fandom and really what this podcast is about. So everyone, please, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the bell to, remind yourself when new episodes are coming out. And, please just share this with your friends and family, like we always say. But we really appreciate the support we've been getting. And I just feel like it's just going to keep getting better and better. So it's been a great week, and I'm really excited about all the news that we have to talk about.
Yeah, same with me. And like Charlie said, super excited about the new logo that we released. We dropped it on Instagram, a little video for you guys. Our intro has changed. So if you're watching here on YouTube, obviously you notice our intro is different. But yeah, we just wanted to kind of do something showing off, like he said, I'm a big horror fan. So of course I'm on Ghostface, and he's a big Star Wars fan. So his body's Mandalorian. So yeah, we wanted to switch that up, but we're really excited. The news this week it's pretty exciting news. We had a decent amount of stuff. We were thinking about what we wanted to talk about. And of course, the Festival of Fun was like a big deal. This coming, it's in another week or so, but we wanted to get more in depth on that, but separate that from our normal news. So we'll get into just kind of like the standard news, drops, things we're excited for, and that kind of thing. And I wanted to start off right off the bat. Of course, if you were listening to episode 10, that episode was all about sodas, and we were super excited about the new Funko Sodas that are going to be coming out, and they keep coming out with more. And they just released, I think it was like 12 total sodas, which in this run was insane. I had to write them all down because it was so many. We had 11 from Stranger Things, which was awesome. We had Willy Wonka soda. We had a Kong soda because we already have the Godzilla, so now we got Kong. We had Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, a Venom. We had Lucky the Leprechaun. We had a Fleagle, which is another banana split character, I guess.
I think that may be the last one to finish off the crew.
Yeah, and they did those quick, which is insane. We also had Agatha, which is awesome from WandaVision. We had Carl and Russell from Up. There was a Mighty Mouse one, which looks super cool. And then there was the Ghostbusters. So it's under Vince Clortho, but it is the key. What is it? Key master, gatekeeper. Yeah. So that one's awesome. That one, honestly, is awesome. Like
I want that
the
one.
The chase on that is crazy.
That's like, I mean, I know I've gone on and on about having good chase. Like, I don't even get a much better chase than that. I mean, it's a completely different mold and everything. Like, they quite frankly could have made two separate ones of that character, but I like that's the chase. It's really cool.
Yeah, they could have literally had it and then maybe like a glow or something else, and it would have been cool. But like, I know you were gonna love it because if you listen to our episode before, and anytime we've kind of brought up sodas when it comes to like chases, Charlie's always been big on like liking the completely different type of chase versus your standard, just a little difference in the color or something like that. And yeah, for that one, it's so cool. I mean, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, I know with the movie just recently coming out, it's pretty exciting that now they're not only doing just the standard Ghostbuster people, which is interesting because they've only released 2 of them so far. Yeah. And then now they're releasing this one. So Stay Puft was technically the first one, I guess you could say, that released in that line. But yeah, I'm super excited for this wave. There's a ton of ones that I really want. I think almost all of them, except that Fleagle probably is the only one I really wouldn't want. But the rest of them, honestly, they went up on pre-order. We've gone over this before. I don't really pre-order. I don't really like doing that too much. But I'm excited to wait for when they come out, and definitely going to be going after them. Most of them have some pretty good chases. But yeah, it's just cool figures to have, I think.
I'm like super pumped. I want to call it the Willy Wonka one. Kind of how if you guys listened to our soda episode last week, talking about like getting more into like iconic movie characters, like that to me is like a perfect one. And I was so pumped when I saw that. And I feel like they'll probably make more from that movie, but I just really, really loved that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's enough characters in that movie, so like everyone knows that movie and the specific kids and everything. I think they could totally make all the kids. It'd be super cool. And there's obviously a version, it could be just them standard, and then the chase, there's so many ways that they get all messed with during the movie that they can make that the chase.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that's an exciting one. But yeah, that's a huge drop for sodas that was just recently announced. But let us know if you guys got any of the sodas, because there's a ton of them for sure. Very excited about that. We had another pretty big drop, which was related to What If. This was a little different because they're mystery minis. I feel like they kind of haven't dropped too many mystery minis in a while, and this line is huge. Like there was a bunch of them.
I feel like they kind of were. It's funny. I feel like with sodas becoming more and more popular, they were phasing out mystery minis a little. Not that they're the same, but I feel like they kind of replaced them, and then they were a more premium product. But I think these ones look pretty cool. Like, I mean, I don't need to collect them all, but I would definitely get like a box and like see what I can get, because almost every character in it is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I was thinking like, wow, this is such a big line and so many of them, but it mirrors the pops, because we actually talked about this, like how there's so many pops in this line. So they just said, you know what, we're gonna keep making more. Let's make them smaller, and they came out with mystery mini versions of them. We already know that some of the sodas are gonna be coming out for What If, like the zombie sodas, the Captain America stuff. So they're really taking that one story and show and just running with it. Which is, I mean, they look pretty cool. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to really go after them. I have a few mystery minis, because some random ones I've gotten over time. I always thought they were really cool, especially not knowing where you're going to get, completely blind bag, you know, and trying to get the one that's a little bit more rare, which of course it's very similar to sodas, but you just get more different type of characters, I guess. You just have no idea where you're going to get out of it. But yeah, that was something that was pretty cool. I thought it was interesting drop. Makes sense that they have it. If you're a big Marvel fan, big What If show fan, I'm sure that's something, you know, you can go after, especially if you like the whole mystery aspect of it. But yeah, that was something that I thought was pretty cool. I know there's a couple 5-packs that you're excited about.
Yeah, another big, keep going on the Marvel train. They came out with continuing the Year of the Shield 5-pack Amazon exclusive Captain America. I think this looks awesome. I'm definitely picking this one up. And when I first heard the rumors about it, I was like, are they just going to repurpose all of the Year of the Shield pops that they've already come out with into a 5-pack? So I was really happy that they didn't. We've talked about like multi-packs, whether it's 2 up to 5, like, do we like them? Do we not? I'm really excited about this one because I have this in Mickey too. It was also an Amazon exclusive. It's like showing the character like through the years. It's not just random 5 different pops in a 5-pack. So I'm really excited for this one. And then the other 5-pack that they announced was weird, 2 5-packs in one day, which is I feel like, I don't know if they're becoming more common or it just was coincidence, but another Star Wars one for the Bad Batch, which I also am really excited about. It's all of the clones from the Bad Batch without their masks on. I thought it was weird when they first came out with the line, they didn't have any of them without the masks on, even if they were chases or whatnot, because for those who've watched the show, I mean, more often than not, they didn't have the mask on. So it's not like it's something special, and it's how you could really tell them all apart. So I thought the molds looked really cool. They were really I thought they were pretty detailed Funko Pops. Really excited, and I want that one as well.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't actually watch the show. I mean, I know of the show and everything, but I didn't watch it specifically, so I didn't know like who each person was. But like you said, I'm sure you could differentiate them a little bit better without the mask and stuff. So it is interesting that they did that now. But correct me if I'm wrong. Besides those, because obviously they don't have the mask versus the former pops that came out, the Captain America one, all those are all new molds as well, right?
They're all new, which is awesome that they're all new. I was just saying, I just assumed they were going to repeat stuff. They're all new, never been made before, which is cool.
Yeah, so they looked really cool. I mean, I think a couple of the characters or the specific time they've done like a version of that.
Yeah,
I believe, but the actual molds that they have are awesome, and that's what I do like about that. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, we both, I believe, have ordered this, but that 4-pack that they came out with, the Blacklight OG one, right? The Captain America, Iron Man, whatever. That's literally repurposed,
just
same exact pops, just in a 4-pack. And it's funny because I'm like, I don't like that. I think that's weird, but I did order that one because I think it's gonna have value, and I think it's gonna look cool as a Blacklight. But I totally agree. Normally, that's usually what they do. They just take like a specific group of whoever it is and then put it in one box, 3, 4, 5-pack, whatever. But I thought it was pretty cool. It was interesting that 2 5-packs came out at the same time, because you usually don't see them that often in general. So for them to both come out, both, in, one Marvel, one Star Wars, but pretty big fandoms to come out with these 5 packs. So yeah. And there were both Amazon, correct?
No,
Right.
Captain
Or
America was
the Captain
Amazon.
America one. Yeah.
GameStop was Bad Batch, which
GameStop.
they seem to get a lot of Star Wars ones now.
Yeah.
A lot of the exclusives. Thought it was interesting that it was GameStop, but it seems like they're the go-to for exclusives as of right now.
Yeah. Cool. So that one was something I thought was pretty cool. And a funny one that actually dropped, well, I think it's funny. It looks pretty cool, but funny at the same time, is the 10-inch flocked squirrel pool. And that's a GameStop actually too. Just talking about GameStop, that's actually a GameStop exclusive as well. And if you guys haven't seen this, it's hilarious. I mean, if you're a Deadpool fan, I mean, Funko goes nuts with Deadpool. Like we could literally, if I have an episode just on Deadpool because of how many they make, how ridiculous some of them look, how cool some other ones look. And yeah, they take the Deadpool mold and make him into anything and anyone. And this one is him as a squirrel, essentially just a squirrel body with the Deadpool suit on, but it's flocked, which is pretty cool. I love flocked figures.
Me too.
Usually. And I don't know if I've ever seen a 10-inch flocked figure, or at least
I don't think there is one.
Often.
Not that I can recall.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty sweet. I mean, out of box, 10 inches look amazing already with the, how much detail they usually put into them. But that one's gonna be a funny one. It's cool. It's a GameStop one. Have you noticed, because it's kind of been new, somewhat new, and obviously the Bad Batch in this one will have it, but the new GameStop sticker, you like it? Like that's like the big red.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's not their like logo, like for the company. It's pretty basic, and it just says GameStop in like white letters, unless they are like coming out with a rebrand and like these stickers came out first, which I think is probably not the case, but I liked the old ones. I don't understand. They even at one point had like a Funko Insiders Club sticker, which it's not like it's anything you had to be a part of. Like I have I can vividly, like right now, there's 2 Star Wars Funko Pops I have that are one's from one of the video games and one is Boba Fett from the Christmas special GameStop exclusives, and that's the sticker on it. But then they were still coming out with, their traditional GameStop exclusive. So I don't even know why they did that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange how they do the change. Like, I mean, it's funny how some of the stickers will change and some never. Like, I still to this day feel like the special edition sticker, the international sticker, is like the ugliest sticker in the world. And I don't care if it's a special edition, that's completely fine, but I feel like they could totally revamp that. But then there's places like, GameStop suddenly changes theirs. Barnes and Noble went through a while where they had a huge sticker. Yeah. Before they had a smaller one, and like they keep changing. So yeah, I just found it interesting. I'm sure on that box is going to be even bigger because usually on a 10-inch box, if it does, it is bigger. It is bigger. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see that one. But I know people have been talking about that sticker and not really big fans of it. But I did see it. It was on that one. But yeah, that's the flocked squirrel pool. So if you guys are fans, like I said, of Deadpool and you got to get everything that's Deadpool, this is just another one out there. I think it's pretty ridiculous looking, but it's kind of cool at the same time. I think because of the flocked is going to make it even cooler.
It's just that you're right. There are so many cool Deadpool ones, but I love the character, but I don't really collect a lot of them because there just is so many. You just be a never ending collection of like stuff that is just so random.
Yeah, it's so true. It'd be really weird. But we also had, so this is something interesting. So I don't know too much detail on it. I know it's Comic-Con special edition. I believe that is something that they're running in Hollywood, right? Or LA or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that like what that is?
Yeah.
So it's like a special small type of convention that they're running. They've been kind of releasing a few different pops for this, like little by little. I feel like a lot of them have been like some of those Asia pops, and like it's been a mix, but it's nothing specific. Now
it's for San Diego Comic-Con again. Actually, it's what it's for.
Okay, so it's like the second
they're copying exactly what Emerald City Comic-Con is doing, just like to
having a secondary,
because they didn't have, and they're going to
be there. I'm assuming. Yeah, so the ones they announced this time, at least for the 2 newest, there is going to be a Michael Jordan exclusive. It is a bait exclusive, which is really cool. I like the Bay exclusives. They don't come off super often, but there was the Boba that recently had came out. So it's a Michael Jordan one. It is awesome because it is, if you are a fan of him at all, it is him in the 45 jersey,
Yeah,
which I think is
pretty
super cool. Because all the other ones are your standard 23 different colored jerseys. This one's awesome because it's different, it's unique. I definitely would love to get that one for sure. And then they also announced a metallic Green Lantern. It's the Green Lantern from the like Imperial line, but he's metallic, which of course they've already kind of released a few of the other ones in metallic already. But that's another one that I saw that was going to be releasing for that. I don't really have a date or anything. I don't know if I saw anything on specifics to when that con is, or if it's going to be online or anything.
It's going to be in December. I don't know the exact date, but it's coming soon. So that's why these are starting to leak.
Yeah. So we'll keep a lookout on that one. And if we get more details, obviously we'll let you guys know for sure, because, the next one is going to be the ECCC one, which is the one we're going to talk about. But I'm sure in the next week or so, we'll get even more information on that secondary San Diego one. But then we also have something super exciting. So if you guys are listening to us anytime throughout this week, of course, this week is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, first of all. So it's going to be an exciting week. I think it's going to be interesting to see when some of these drops and things are going to go before leading up to the holiday, because I don't know how Funko will celebrate the holiday, if they're going to do it, if they're closed on Wednesday or not, because Wednesday is usually a big drop day. But however, obviously Black Friday, for most of you guys know, is a huge shopping retail day in general. So Friday, this week, there are 2 actual drops that we're going to be looking out for. One of them is one that we think mentioned at one point, and it is the 18-inch Iron Man.
Yes.
Which is so sick. And I am so excited for it. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to be a pain in the ass.
I was wondering the same thing, because part of me is like, I mean, I guess you're a huge collector, you're going to want this, but it's not like it's just a standard pop that like anyone's just going to go get. But do you like think it's going to be pretty limited and it's going to be really hard to get?
So that's the thing. If it's limited, I think it's going to be a pain. If they make it generally like, so it is, I believe, a Funko Shop exclusive.
It is,
right? So it'll be like technically a Funko Shop exclusive. So it depends, because obviously we've seen Funko Shop exclusives that they clearly make thousands and thousands and thousands of, that literally sit around forever, and then there's some that sell out super fast. I want to say it's going to be a similar to like the diecast.
Okay.
Just because you got to remember, this thing's going to be price point at what, $100 probably?
Probably.
I mean, that's the retail of an 18-inch, usually around that $98, $99, whatever. So one, that's going to steer some people away. Not everyone's going to want to drop, $100 on one pop. Granted, it's the biggest version they make. I believe they only have the 2 different Batmans. I know they make a Pikachu,
make a Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. So there's not too many in the 18. They make a ton of 10-inch, but the 18-inch is like, I mean, these are a huge. big one. Yeah, it's huge. The box alone is enormous, and the box it doesn't have a window, so it's like meant to be taken out of the box. So yeah, but yeah, I don't have any of them. I would love to have the Batman one, but I want this one super bad. I think it's super cool. I feel like it's the same deal with the Batman. The reason why I want the Batman is because they don't make a 10-inch of the Batman, which I always thought was kind of weird. Yeah. So I still would want like that thing. And I think Iron Man is like such an icon for Marvel side, like Batman is for, DC side. And it's super sick. It's obviously the Tony Stark that we know of in the MCU. It's that version. It's his suit. So I think it looks sick. I just hope it's not too crazy. I haven't seen details on if it's going to be like a queue system or if it's just going to be a random drop. But I do know it's Friday is the announcement.
I feel like it's going to be a random drop.
And that's what I think. That's what I was going to say. I don't know what it is, but I'm assuming it's going to be that way. And it just means that you're going to have to be sitting by your phone, Twitter notifications on, Instagram, whoever you follow. And the second it's on there, if you really want it, you go out there and drop. I know we both want it. It's just awesome. Like a statement piece. I feel like it's a statement piece. Like you put that on like a desk or something, and it's just gonna look
badass. And it's his costume from Endgame. It's Endgame Pop.
Yep, it's the newer one.
They're really like, I feel like I love that they're making this. It feels like it's like the end of his line of them making a lot of Iron Man Pops. He's not gonna at this point. They're just gonna have to recycle stuff because he's not gonna be in any of the movies.
Yeah, nothing newer
on out for a long time until they decide to bring him back. But. I'm like, this pop is going to be awesome.
Yeah. So that's a huge one. I mean, that's if you're a fan of Marvel, Iron Man at all, it's probably a big deal for you as well. And this Friday, hopefully, if you want it, look out for Funko. I mean, obviously, there's a few Instagram pages that we follow a lot, and even on Twitter. I feel like the Twitter, they're pretty quick on their posting versus Instagram. But either way, you're gonna get links and stuff
Yeah,
because you're gonna want to
if you're waiting
do
just
that.
for the official Funko, like
Don't.
push it, you're not getting it.
Yeah,
They push that stuff
the
out
email
after it's already been
notification that
sold
they're
out.
telling you to wait for.
It's a joke. Yeah, you have to like search out on like Instagram or Twitter from the big accounts guys who look out for this stuff. And a lot of times they're like, okay, we think this is going to drop at I'll just say 9:30, and so then you're just kind of like waiting, and yeah, it's a big
refreshing.
That's right. Another
so
pop. Yeah. Well, I hope we get it. I think we're gonna get
it. Yeah, I hope so.
But I was gonna say another Thanksgiving, not Black Friday, but Thanksgiving themed pop that's coming, which I'm pretty excited about. Totally random, but I think it's pretty cool. There's gonna be a Funko Pop in balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's gonna be of Grogu, which is like one of my all-time favorite characters. And they're making a pop of like what the balloon looks like, and it's not just like a Grogu pop that they're saying this is what it is. It's actually looks like the balloon, like how it's floating up in the air. I think it's going to be up on a stand. I think it's really cool, and it's going to have like a Macy sticker on it, which is also just totally like unique, and it's probably going to be a one of a kind, because I doubt they're gonna. I mean, this balloon will probably become a staple in the parade. I don't think Funko's going to get a new balloon every year, so I'm pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see if they end up doing it more often now, because it's the first time. Obviously, I could see them doing it. I could see them doing more of the big, maybe like a Pikachu, and like people like that I feel like will lend well to like kids as well, and that kind of thing. So this was obviously a huge iconic character, in general. And then for Funko, they've milked the hell out of it. We talked about that before with the amount of pops that they make. Yeah. So I think like them having the pop version of it, or the balloon version of it, was interesting. And then they're making a pop version. Is just them kind of,
it's funny though. Do you think, obviously it's become like a cultural phenomenon, that character, like even if you don't like Star Wars, you've heard of it and you think it's cute, or you want something of it. But do you think this is Funko kind of saying, hey, this is our most popular character that we've made like recently, it's sold the most, and that's why they decided to make it? I was just thinking about this, why it's the balloon. I mean, it's just because it's popular.
I mean, it kind of has to be, because I don't know obviously the process in Macy's and their Thanksgiving Day Parade, but I'm sure it's pretty hard to get a balloon in their parade. And then if they decide to, I'm sure there's people that have to approve things. And I'm sure they were like, all right, well, we're going to go with this. And they probably had a few different options, but I feel like this probably was the obvious option, because it's still pretty freshly new. It's also, pushing towards the new shows that are going to be coming out again. I'm sure that's another way of marketing it as well. But yeah, it's a huge money grab for them in a sense of like just popularity. Like you said, my wife's never, ever seen anything Star Wars related whatsoever, and she knows who he is. And obviously she knows him as Baby Yoda, because that's what the outside of Star Wars fans know him as. But it just shows you like how popular it was. So I totally do. Yeah. And I think it's cool. He's floating, like you said, he's on an acrylic stand, so he's gonna look like he's floating up. He's got that little like sphere, like ball thing in front of him, I think, which the balloon is also gonna have. So yeah, and they're gonna have merchandise. There's hoodies and shirts. So just so you guys know, I don't know if Charlie said it or not, but the 23rd, so that's actually Tuesday.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this on our first day of release, then that's gonna be tomorrow. The 23rd is when this will drop on the Funko Shop. Same kind of thing. It's probably just gonna be a random drop, maybe in their normal 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock range, but just keep a lookout for it if you do want it. I think it'll sell. I don't know if it'll sell out like super fast, because I'm assuming they're going to make a ton of them.
Yeah.
But I could see it selling,
I don't think it'll last the day.
Yeah, I could see it going throughout the day, and then selling eventually. Maybe the shirts and stuff will still be up, because there's going to be some other merchandise that they're doing as well. I know on the live, Funko went up live, and they were showing it off the pop, and they showed off some of the hoodies and the shirts. There's gonna be like kid size.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a pop keychain, and there's also then another pop, which I'm a little confused of what this to me is a money grab, even though I'll probably get it. There's another one of him as the character from the balloon, but it's not the balloon. Like it's just a normal size pop. Did you see that? It's
That's
still
weird.
it's him
No.
standing up with like the knob, which they kind of already make that
So
version
it's
of
and it's like the standard, like the sideways box and everything.
correct. Yeah, but it's not
That's weird.
like the
Is
floating.
the balloon one a regular size for
No,
a 4-inch one, or is
no,
it bigger?
it's like it's bigger. It's
It's
not.
like a deluxe,
It's
probably
a yes. It's like a
like a
deluxe. And
square. Okay.
yes, so
Okay. So at
it's
least it's
interesting.
different, like that size. But yeah, that's why you don't need that many.
Yeah,
I just feel like with something like that, this is another, we can get into this, but this is another thing with Funko that's like the whole originality of like limiting something is more, to me, it's better. Like if you are going to do this, okay, this is a big deal. It's the first time. Awesome. You're going to make it in a pop. All right, cool. It looks like a balloon. Just make one and
one.
make it like that one that everyone wants to get, whether you make a lot or a little of it, just make that. You don't need to make
Wait, do we need the
different versions
keychain?
of it.
Like,
Yeah, even the key. I think keychains in general are like ridiculous. Like I have some; they're all in my backpack. I don't use
yeah,
them as actual keychains because I hear if you actually use them and use them a lot, they'll pop off.
fall
They're not
off.
like the best made, but I just throw them on my zippers on like my backpack. And most of them I got in like Marvel mystery boxes, those collector
Yeah,
core boxes and things like that. So I'm not going actively out and buying them. But yeah, I mean that's interesting. But that's something that's going to be coming out this week. So just look out for it. Like I said, Tuesday is when that official drop will be. One more thing for this week is on Friday, so the 26th. This one does have a time. So this is going to be through Pop in a Box. They're dropping an exclusive Carl and Ellie wedding 2-pack, which we all know Carl and Ellie pops, up pops in general are very popular, but the Carl and Ellie stuff are always super popular.
yeah.
They always become grails right away. They sell super fast. We've had them through different conventions and stuff come out, and they've sold really fast. This one's cool. It's them in their wedding outfit from obviously from the show. And the official time right now is 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern. So if you are interested in that, look out for it because it'll be on the that website for their exclusive. So I think it's pretty cool. I don't know if I'll go after it. I don't have any of the
Yeah, me
exclusive
either.
like
I
up stuff.
I
For the
wanted
Carl
them, and like when I never could get them when they
Yeah.
were at the cons, and like, yeah, I'm not gonna get this one now because I don't have any of the other ones. But they
Yeah,
are really
same.
they are cool.
The one with the mailbox I wanted like so bad, and I remember
Yeah.
like just not winning the lottery, and then it was just such a pain, and then it sold. That was like one of the fastest ones to sell, and it was just like it was a
So
headache. But
speaking of Pop in the Box, have you just noticed recently that they keep like, okay, we're gonna redrop this pop that we, was an exclusive that sold out like a year ago. A bunch of these Disney ones they've been recently doing. I don't know why
no,
they're Funko's doing that. Like, I know we've talked about before. These are vaulted pops that they've made that were exclusives or they've sold out, and now they're like bringing them back. They brought back a Mufasa one of him like when he's talking to Simba in the sky.
oh yes, okay, I did see that one,
I
and
noticed.
that did release before.
Yeah, released before.
Weird.
They brought back. They're bringing back 101 Dalmatians one. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to think a few. Like, I don't know why they're bringing them back unless they're finding them in inventory. Like, it's random.
I don't know because that's happening even outside of them. Like we can go into
Yeah.
Walgreens, like
Yes.
reselling vaulted pops or supposedly vaulted pops as well, and it's like it just makes you think like, is it that it's being found and they just have more inventory and they're just selling them because obviously they have it, or is Funko like manufacturing them all over again and just making more? And if that's the case, then it's messed up because then why say something's vaulted and make, because that's affecting the value on things and stuff,
And
and
why
that's like
bring
a whole
it
nother
back? Like,
headache.
it's like, then just do that for everything then. If that's like your new
Yeah, it
model,
doesn't
like
make sense.
yeah, it's
It should
random.
just be like if you want to do something like that character, like make a new one or change the mold
Yeah.
or the color even, like because they could have done just a different version of it, and I'm sure it just would have been, oh well, there's a new figure, a new thing, whatever. But yeah, that is interesting. I saw the Simba one. I did see what you were talking about with that one, but I forgot that was actually something that dropped previously. But yeah, that was something. And then besides that, just I know this was a cool pop that we wanted. The John Lennon pop did drop
Yeah.
through Funko, so that was a Funko Shop exclusive. That stuck around for a little while. It does have an opportunity to get a chase, so I actually ordered 2 of those to see if I get a chase, but I guess we'll see. That one should be coming in soon. I think I got a notification. I think this week I'm getting it. But yeah, that was one that dropped, and yeah, I think that was most of the news related outside of what our main topic is going to be. But yeah, we're going to get into the main topic. So again, This is the Festival of Fun. So I did bring up a little bit of information. I wanted to read kind of like the official statement from Funko just regarding like what this event is and like how it's going to work. But yeah, it's called the Festival of Fun at ECCC 2021. So sounds interesting, right? So basically, Emerald City Comic Con, of course, is the convention that they have in Seattle, Washington, which is near Everett, which of course is the headquarters of Funko. But it is a convention for multiple different vendors and stuff. Now, as you guys know, during the pandemic and everything, conventions kind of stopped doing in person and they were all virtual. New York City Comic Con was the first time they finally got back into really kicking into the in-person experience, but Funko didn't participate, didn't bring anybody there. Now this time they're kind of trying to make up for it seems like. But just to give you a detail of the convention itself, so basically what it's saying is that we're welcome to the age of hybrid events. Funko is elated to announce that we'll be hosting a booth at Emerald City Comic Con in-person event late 2021. We will also be broadcasting live streams. They're going to be posting on social media, etc. Yada yada. When and where? So this is actually going on December 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So next week, Thursday through Sunday is when the full Festival of Fun event is in Seattle, Washington at Emerald City Comic Con. So we were talking about this before, but so this isn't like their event of Emerald City Comic Con. So they're not saying like they're just at Emerald City Comic Con as like their event. They're basically renamed a new event that just happens to be the name of their booth that's going to be at the Emerald City Comic Con event. It's weird, but anyways, so so they're gonna have the booth there. Now this is what's even crazier. I was reading this and I was like, this is just nuts. So basically, in order to participate in the event, because of course it is an in-person one that you can go to, there is a lottery that's going to be being held, and they're going to randomly select people, the registered fanatics, to be able to visit the Funko booth during a scheduled time slot at the Emerald City Comic Con. Now, those drawings are starting today, this Monday, the 22nd, and they're running until the 28th, so until next Sunday. And Wednesday, the 1st, they will pick if you won. So basically, you can go on Funko if you're in that area, or you're going to be visiting, go on Funko, enter in to see if you want to win the lottery. If you win the lottery and you get a drawing, basically what that means is now you have the ability to go at a certain time slot to visit the booth. If you don't have that, you won't be able to visit a booth until 6:15. It looks like every day they're going to allow the public, general public, to go to the booth. So yes. Super weird. It's like very limited just to get to go to the booth and then whatever. At the same time, the headquarters in Everett is also going to be holding an event where you could pay for tickets to meet there. And there's like an event there and blah, blah, blah. But where it kind of matters to us is the, purchasing exclusives and stuff online. Now, what they're doing this year is they're going to do the shared exclusives on December 3rd. So if you guys are not going to, Seattle and you want to buy stuff, then December 3rd, which is Friday, is the only day that you're allowed to purchase either through Funko or the shared retailers that will be having some of these exclusive pops. Now, the way that they're doing it, and this is going to be a pain, but they're doing no lottery again, and it will be the waiting room queue system. So we've talked about this before. We went in depth about it with New York City Comic Con. If you guys didn't, listen or listen to those episodes, I believe it was episode 4 and 5. We kind of talked about before New York City Comic Con and then the aftermath of New York City Comic Con. So make sure you listen to that because it was pretty interesting how we felt about the queue system and everything that had to do with that crazy convention. But yeah, this time they're going to do the same thing, one per household. It's very similar to like when you're buying stuff like that. But I wanted to bring this up because what's crazy is the sticker situation. And this is where we're going to go on a rant. But just so you guys know the official sticker situation, all exclusives that are being sold at the Funko booth. So if you're physically going to Seattle, every pop that you get there will have a 2021 NYCC sticker and a Festival of Fun sticker on the pop. All shared items, which are going to be Friday if we want to buy everything online, are going to have a 2021 Fall Convention exclusive sticker. So translation is all the pops from New York City Comic Con that didn't make it to New York City Comic Con because they came late or manufacturing or shipping to them, whatever it is, are literally being used for this Comic Con. And all they're doing is they have the NYCC official ones that they're going to have for the people there because they're obviously a little bit more limited. And then the shared ones that we're all going to get, they're going to say fall exclusive. Those are exactly like if we were going to New York City Comic Con. That's what's happening. But they just happen to take an extra little sticker that says Festival of Fun. They're going to stick it on the ones that are for the people that are there. And they get a cool little exclusive sticker on an NYCC Pop at the Festival of Fun, which is at ECCC, not NYCC.
It's a joke. Like I'm like so disappointed in Funko that I know we were talking, they're like just like not even really acknowledging that there was any like issues. And then they did an Instagram live the other day and like a YouTube live where they were showing off some of the pops, and like they even made it like, I feel like someone wanted to make a joke about it. I'm like, oh, it's still the fall. So it's still the fall convention. Yeah. So like it's still true, but it's just so weird if you're gonna actually be at the Comic-Con, you're getting a Funko exclusive pop that says New York City Comic-Con. It's insane. I know they're putting on that other sticker, but now I was just thinking, like, yes, the reason they're using these because they were already made, but why not just make a sticker now that you could put over the New York City Comic-Con instead of putting 2 stickers on it for the convention? You could have done that, made it a little bigger, slapped it right over it. You never would have even known. The only way you would have known is if you take the pops out of the box, and you can probably see that there's 2 stickers from the inside of the plastic. Like, I don't know why no one thought of that.
Yeah, I think it's still, that would have been even still foolish, and people would have still said something.
They're going to say something regardless, but you're right. Like, I know before we started this, we were talking just a little bit that you probably couldn't have peeled the stickers off. It would have probably, messed up the box. So if you're going to put on another sticker, why not just cover the other one then?
Yeah,
they're both foolish, but like, I
have 2 problems with it in general. So it's like, the first problem is that, like you're just adding another sticker to be like, well, this is also at our event, like Festival of Fun, whatever. So that's like stupid because now you have 2 random stickers. But then just the fact that like, they got these pops. So like I said, if you didn't listen to our New York City Comic Con, when we were talking about before, when we didn't know what was going on, we kind of said exactly what's going on. We all predicted. Like, we knew that the releases were super late. We knew there was an issue with shipping. We knew there was an issue with manufacturing, whatever it was. We knew there was problems. It wasn't going to run smoothly. They were super late on telling people when the lottery or the queue or whatever they were going to do. They didn't announce it until like the day before. Everything was so behind. And then once we got the actual official drops and we saw these pops, we were super under, we did not like the amount. There was a small amount for a big New York City Comic-Con. Yes. It just didn't make sense. And it was just so obvious that there was stuff missing. And that was before it was even shown that stuff was missing. And then, of course, because there's leakers that are amazing at their jobs, people get their hands on pictures. They get their hands on actual pops, whatever it is.
Some people have them.
And they started leaking. And then we saw, okay, there is a handful, and it kept every day, another 1 or another 2 would be announced that had the official New York City Comic-Con fall exclusive, whatever sticker on it. And it was like, all right, this is clearly for New York City Comic-Con, but it either wasn't, didn't get to them in time, or they didn't make it in time, or whatever it was, that it got delayed. So then we literally said, they're going to take these and they're going to do it in a new event. They're going to do something different. And it's exactly what they did, which is crazy because they don't usually do events in December, right? I don't think they've ever really done.
No. So this is completely like new, I think, because of the pandemic. Now they feel like, some people feel safe going to conventions. So they're having these events. Both of them are not.
Which that part of it is fine. I think, like, you missed out on Emerald City before. You missed out on San Diego Comic-Con. You missed out on all these big ones. And then even when NYCC came out, at least you started like kind of releasing stuff, but you didn't go to it. So I completely understand if you want to make up a small little event, like they're doing Festival of Fun, for the holidays essentially, and you want to cater it to a specific smaller con and you're going to go to it. that is completely cool. I don't have a problem with that. It's more a reason to get more stuff out there, more product, whatever. But one, you're using stuff that already came out that you guys, somebody messed up and didn't get it out correctly. And what's crazier and what makes him look terrible, and this is what I was talking to you about, is like the way they're doing it and how they're just going on like nothing happened. Like we talked about when New York City Comic Con happened and how it was such a debacle, and we were like, are they gonna announce like a statement and be like, and
Nothing.
they didn't say anything. Like they didn't, it like it happened and they just continued on. Like we knew it was supposed to happen and everything was fine. And us as like general collectors and all the experience to us like didn't matter. And it's like the experience does matter to us. Like I'd rather have opportunities to try to get something and miss out on it than not even have the opportunity because just you didn't give us anything to even try to get. And then when you do get it, okay, so say that you're going to have another New York City Comic Con that you guys are going to host, Festival of Fun. You could find a place in New York. They could have done
Yeah.
something to still connect it to New York. Why are you going to the West Coast, completely different side? You're going to go to a new convention, which is Emerald City Comic Con. People are going to, let's say someone's not super big on Funko and they're like comics or whatever, and they're there. They're going to go there. They're going to see this booth that says Emerald City Comic Con because that's what everything is. And then they're going to look at these exclusive pops that are going to say New York City Comic Con on them. Like,
It's weird.
how, like, that's crazy.
It's funny because right now while we're talking, I had this thought, which now I'm probably gonna backtrack on, but I was like, you know what? I wonder if, to give Funko a little bit of benefit of the doubt, they found out that this event was gonna happen since it wasn't supposed to. It's kind of spare the moment, and they're like, oh no, we're not gonna have any exclusives. So let's hold back some New York City Comic Con exclusives to put at this event. But now, why? The more I'm thinking about it during this talk is there's no way that's true, because why would they choose to put basically the Freddie Funko that's wearing a Knicks jersey and
Yeah.
a John Lennon Funko Pop that says New York City on the t-shirt? They're very clearly were made for New York City Comic Con. That is
Yeah.
the thing that's driving me insane. Like
Yeah.
I would have just held those pops for something else. Like it's just so
It's
random.
just it's so weird. And like I mentioned this because when we were talking, like, me and Charlie were talking beforehand before we started getting everything going and recording, we kind of just like go going back and forth. And I mentioned the fact that, he said like, all right, so what if these pops came and they couldn't just replace the sticker and whatever? Okay. That would have been an option, but to me, I think they physically probably couldn't do it because these pops obviously were already made. We've seen them physically done already with the stickers. And if you guys know, I mean, you can do it, but it's not the easiest thing to take off a sticker clean and put on another new sticker. Like it's just something's gonna not work right. It'll peel off wrong, whatever. There's glue left behind. It'll mess up the window thing, whatever it is. We just knew it wasn't going to be perfect. So that's probably not an option that they had, which I completely understand. All right, whatever. But I just think that it was just like, it's just weird. It's like a cop out. Like, it's cool that we're going to get these pops. We're actually going to go over like what these pops are, just so you guys know like what we're excited for. Because at the end of the day, we still like a lot of these pops. We liked them when we saw them as leaks. I liked a lot of these more than the actual
Me too.
con ones that actually released. So in that aspect, cool, awesome. We're still gonna get the pop. It's just more like that. It's just a bad taste in your mouth with like a company that you really like and you support, and just the way they're running it. It just doesn't sit well with me in the sense of like, one, you guys could have totally apologized to everybody. You could have been so much more upfront with what the problems were, because there's obviously problems. Their way they're looking at it is like kind of like Charlie said, like they're basically saying, all right, we're gonna release pops from New York City Comic Con. All right, we got these 20, whatever it is. It was a little bit more, but let's say we got these 20 pops. There's gonna be this smaller event that's gonna be coming out. So we were gonna make maybe 40 for New York City, but let's do these other 20 and we'll put them there. But they're still being sent to us as New York City Comic Con. Yeah, that's fine. We're just gonna take those and we're still selling them, but we're gonna sell them there. And if you get to go there, we're gonna give you an extra sticker. But we're not going to take out the one that says that it's a New York City Comic Con. Honestly, if it said fall convention, it still would have been stupid. But if it said fall convention and the festival, whatever, those I feel like are not as crazy as the ones that say NYCC. Although
Yeah.
the fall conventions still have the little Statue of Liberty, so you know
And
it's
it's
New
the
York.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, you still know it's New York. But like the ones that physically are gonna say New York Comic Con, like it just blows my mind that that's something that they're gonna be like okay with connecting to Emerald City Comic Con, which, like I
I was
said,
almost
it's not even like it's a New Jersey Comic Con. It's freaking Washington.
well,
Like
it's
it's not
funny
even
too. I
close.
don't know how, like, if it really matters. Clearly it doesn't, but like if I was Emerald City Comic Con, I wouldn't want, I mean, they're not want to piss off Funko, but like I wouldn't want to be promoting another Comic Con at
Yeah, that's why I
our
think
con.
it's stupid.
And like honestly, the other sticker looks weird. It's like a long
Yeah. The Festival of
rectangular
Fun one
stickle.
was it was definitely something. It's I don't know, man. It's such a crazy thing. Like it's funny. Like if you were telling this to somebody who's not super into Funko and you explained like what was happening, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna do this event and this happened and everything that happened, they'd probably look at you like you had 5 heads and be like, what are you talking about? Like in a business aspect, like it just doesn't make sense. Like it's such a mess. You would never think a huge company like this would do something like that. But like at the end of the day, we can't be surprised because there's a lot of crazy stuff that ends up happening and gets messed up and falls through the cracks and whatever it is. But we gotta deal with it either way. December 3rd, and which is Friday of next week. That's when you guys will be able to go online, and we're gonna talk about some of the pops because at the end of the day, it's still stuff that, like we said, we're excited for most of these because a lot of these. I remember when the leaks came out, I was like, dude, some of these pops are way better than some of the stuff that is releasing now. But overall, you're looking at 21 pops. So in this lineup, we got 21 pops. There's no sodas. So that was
It's interesting.
kind of interesting. So no sodas, which I guess all the sodas obviously came out during New York Comic Con. So they must have not had any left over. I feel like maybe like 2 or 3 of these pops, I think maybe like three or 4, I didn't see at all. So maybe they are kind of new and they weren't supposed to be new. So maybe they were able to make a few and toss them in there. But about 18 of them were literally announced the day of New York City Comic Con, the day after New York City Comic Con, 2 days after. Like they kept rolling out, like,
Yes,
these are also pops. And not to go back into this, but what's a crazier thing is that not all of these, but maybe 50% of these, a lot of people have because they were selling them in big sites like Epic Collectibles and
yeah.
Chalice Collectibles.
The
Like
one that
I could have got them. I got them in mystery boxes. I got some NYCC stuff in mystery boxes that I didn't get through NYCC.
Like
and it was
I
because
know
people had these.
our boy Jeremy from New and Old Funko Pop Unboxings, he got the Cad Bane one that's coming out.
Yep.
Like he already has that in his collection. I mean, that's the one that I am the most excited to get. And at one point I was like, I know we predicted this was going to happen and I'm happy it did. But there was a little part of me was like, are these like never going to come out? Am I never going to be able to get this pop unless I like have to buy it off of someone for, a
on
ton
eBay
of money?
or something.
But I'm at least happy now knowing I can get it. Because I'm sure some collectors probably thought they hit, the jackpot and these were going to be like super rare and like never been released, which is clearly
and
not the case.
Honestly, I don't know if Funko's this smart, but if they were smart, which is what they are actually doing, maybe they thought we need to continue. We can't change these because if we don't, let's say we change these, the people that do have those ones, those things are now going to be super exclusive. They're going to sell for more money. It's going to affect all this price. And they probably didn't want that to happen. So they're like, we're going to just release the ones we wanted. And if you happen to have it early, cool, you had it early. But guess what? We released the same exact pop. So just to get into some of the lineup. So the shared exclusives for this con. So obviously Funko Shop's going to have its own. We have Amazon, FYE, GameStop, Toy Tokyo, Target, Hot Topic, Entertainment Earth. So right off the bat, this is also another reason how you can tell that all of this stuff was missing. It was supposed to be NYCC originally because when NYCC announced theirs, we right away were like, where's Target?
I know.
Where's the FYE? Where's all these companies that always would have a shared exclusive and they didn't? And it's because they did have one. It just literally, it's one of the other reasons. It has to either be they didn't physically have them yet, like they were just late to getting them, or they were just late to being made, like they just weren't shipped to them because they were stuck, or
Yeah.
like, oh, this crazy stuff is going on. But just to go over some of them, and if you guys, we're just gonna kind of go in detail on what they were. So obviously, we'll tell you if we're excited for them or not. There's a few on here that I really want. I know Charlie has a few that he really wants. But the first one off the bat, just looking at the picture, is the Amazon exclusive. So Amazon will have one shared exclusive, and it is from The Witcher. Geralt, is that his name?
Yep.
Geralt. Yeah. So that's one of the ones. I know you spoke about The Witcher before because they have another.
Yeah, it's funny because this
out.
had leaked and I was like, oh, whoa, they're making Witcher Pops. And it's kind of funny. Then they ultimately ended up coming out with all of this would have been cool. It reminds me of The Mandalorian when that first one came out exclusively to a con before anything came out after. This got messed up because they already now announced the line, and this isn't kind of special anymore. It's just kind of it's a cool pop if you love the show or the video games or the books and you want to continue to get the collection. You have to get this one, but it's not as cool anymore to me now, knowing that the line is already full-fledged, been announced, and you can pre-order them. So that's a missed opportunity.
That totally makes sense too, because it would have been so much cooler if the very first one was, which they probably was supposed to be, obviously, and it wasn't. And actually, this is strange. I don't mean to say it, but I'm looking. So basically, what I'm looking at is, how Funko will officially show that picture with all their things and everything. It says Festival of Fun. Do you see what it says at the top? So it says Winter 2021 shared retail.
It does. I didn't notice that. Oh man.
Which they're not. They're going to be fall, which technically it is still fall. It's not winter. It's December 20th.
It is.
Whatever. Anyways,
it's just hilarious that they were talking about this on the Funko Instagram live feed, going back between winter and fall, and the official image says winter. Wow.
It's just so much craziness going on. But anyways, let's go on to the second one. So this one, I know we definitely both want. This is the FYE exclusive. So FYE will only have one exclusive as well, and it is the John Lennon. Of course, he's wearing the New York City tank top. He's got his glasses on. That's a super iconic one. It obviously should have been New York City Comic Con because he's wearing the New York City shirt, and that's just another one that's gonna be like, what the heck is going on? But yeah, that was one when we saw it leak right away. We were like, this is gonna be super cool and it's awesome. But yeah, that's FYE. So I'm assuming normally the way these cons work out, of course, is all of these you should have an opportunity to get through Funko, but if not individually, depending on where they're shared to, they will also have them. So if you go to FYE physical store, maybe, if not online, we'll have it there. Then next in line, we have, I'll go down. So we have GameStop. So a lot of these only have like one. So the GameStop one is the Doctor Strange. So I believe it's called Doctor Strange it's like Supreme.
Supreme.
It's Doctor Strange Supreme.
This one is
from the
awesome.
show.
Yeah, I want this. It's just funny. This to me is one of the best ones out of any of the con exclusives. From the first drop in New York City Comic Con, and this, it's from obviously the ever humongous line of the What If. But I was like, this was someone I'm like, well, how do they not make a pop of this? Like, it made no sense. They made all these characters. So when I saw this picture leak, because this was one of the ones that leaked and got out, I was like, okay, this is awesome. This is also like a con exclusive to me. I'm excited.
It's very detailed. Colors look awesome. It's really cool. So it's a super size pop. So it is bigger. It's a bigger, obviously, character in general. So they made the mold bigger. So that's actually a pretty cool one. That's from GameStop. We also got one from Toy Tokyo. This is actually a Transformers pop, which is Trax. I don't know too much about the character, specifically that one, but I know he's another exclusive. That line's getting pretty big with the
it is like it's like the original
Transformers. A lot of exclusives,
which is cool.
Yeah, so they got another one. That's Toy Tokyo. Then we got Funko Shop. So Funko Shop specifically has a pretty decent group of pops. So they do have an Avatar pop. Pretty cool if you like Avatar. It's a nice mold. He's got the little
he's bending the air.
He's going around the bending air. Yeah, he's bending air basically in person. So that's pretty cool. An airbender one. This one I thought was weird. We have Jasmine. So if you guys don't know, Disney has been dropping this gold series with a pin. Pretty cool. I actually got my wife the Ariel one. Huge, obviously, Little Mermaid fan. She has almost all the pops from Ariel or Little Mermaid. So I was surprised her one day and I was like, I'm going to grab this one. So I actually grabbed it from. It's cool. They're in a gold dress, whatever. But they've already released 2 or 3.
Yes.
And then now they're going to have the Jasmine one. But as in Funko as a con exclusive, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It should just be to have sold regularly, but whatever. That's one. Then we got this guy. This one's a little weird. Cheddar Goblin. I don't even know what
I didn't know what
that's
this was, and I
from.
looked it up. It's like from like a commercial around the holiday time.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's so funny. Like when I saw this and I looked it up, I'm like, okay, this is like Funko at its like finest of making completely random. I like when they do this. I don't necessarily collect them, but this is super niche. It's definitely something that I'm sure, Brian and Mike were like, they loved this commercial during their
Yeah, they
childhood. Like
always.
they like love making these random things. It's super cool, but like this is really inside baseball. Like I don't think I think I don't know if this one's gonna sell, but
Yeah, I don't
maybe it's
know.
gonna
I
be
mean, it's
super
under
limited.
Mandy Films, so I guess that's who like
Yeah,
makes it. The
this is just
company.
completely random. So I wonder if it's gonna be considered like an ad icon under like that series.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the box glam shot of
I
what
haven't.
like it'll actually show. Like, yeah, it's because it's interesting to see what does he fall under, like what category or whatever. But I guess we'll see. I'll see if I find a picture of that. Next, we have one that's really exciting. So this is a Jimi Hendrix Blacklight. This one is pretty cool. It's very colorful. It's very rainbow-esque color hair and his clothing and everything. I know that there has been a leak for a while for a Blacklight Jimi Hendrix that's supposed to be dropping through Funko Shop. It's not the same one, which is interesting. It's a completely different,
Yeah,
it's basically the same mold, but it's a different color scheme. I personally like the Funko Shop exclusive
me
one.
too. It's
The yeah,
cooler.
the color just looks better. It's bright with just very solid. This one's like striped. It's
It's
almost a little
random.
too much.
Yeah.
I guess the psychedelicness, I guess, kind of adds to it. Maybe it's still cool. I would like that one either way. I love the Blacklight pops,
Yeah.
obviously, and Jimi Hendrix is always an awesome pop to have. But yeah, that's one that I thought was pretty interesting. The Funko Shop ones are pretty random. Some of them, I mean, so that's an
Yeah.
interesting one. We did get a Dragon Ball Z character, which is Dodoria is his name. I don't know too much about him specifically. It's a cool
Neither.
looking character though. Their molds are always awesome. Like if you
They're
like
cool.
anything anime or whatever, they make pretty good molds. This one I thought was pretty awesome.
The
So
Play-Doh.
we got Play-Doh Pete. Yeah, from the Play-Doh. So it's Pete, and he's got the little thing that like cuts the Play-Doh. It's almost like
Yes.
a pizza cutter, but they use for the Play-Doh. That
But
one's pretty cool. I'm assuming that's gonna probably be retro toys, maybe, or
it will
board
be.
games. I know they make a few different
And
ones of
not
those.
to
So
like jump down the list, but why are they releasing two, which is one's essentially a chase, in my opinion. But
oh yeah.
so is completely separate from
Well,
show only.
kind of connected to the Freddy Funko as well. So in Funko Shop online, so you're gonna be able to get this one version of him in red. Then you got Freddy Funko, which Charlie mentioned before. He's in a Knicks jersey. It's the white jersey. It's not a Knicks jersey, but it's orange, blue, white color
Yeah, they
scheme,
want it to be, but they
which
can't.
obviously
Yeah.
was New York. It made sense. But he's wearing the white jersey because one's away and one's home. The Funko Shop show only. So if you're physically going to this Emerald City Comic Con that's going on, you're going to be able to get the Freddy Funko in the blue jersey. And they're also dropping this Play-Doh guy, but just in a different color. It's literally the same thing as the Freddy version is the same as the other one. They're just two different color schemes, and you're just able to get one at the show and one online.
It's funny. I forgot, since this actually is a show for real this time. The show only ones are truly show only, even though it says Funko Shop.
Yeah,
Because they had been doing the show only ones, but you could get them online on Funko.com.
because they didn't have the physical
Yeah.
show going on. So
So that makes a little more
that's
sense, but it's still random.
so I guess and that one comes with a T-shirt, the Freddy Funko one. It looks like there's a T-shirt involved with it too. I think it's like they could have at least done a different. I mean, just change the color to me. That's kind of dumb. But I mean, whatever. It's Funko, so they're doing that. Then we got the Great Garlu, which this I have no idea about. I didn't even try to look it up.
This is a retro toy.
It's a toy, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is another along with that other one.
Old.
Yeah, like before this is not our time. Total. I think it's cool and creative and random, but this to me seems like a show only type one.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess it makes sense. If it could be, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think any of these are limited pieces, though, right? Are they? I'm
we
assuming the show
don't.
only would be because
I think
they're
it will
limited to
be,
only
but
the
they
people
don't.
that
I
get
feel
to
like they don't
go.
really tell you that until you see it at the show.
Yeah, the actual box and everything.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But yeah, that's the only ones that are going to be at the show. So there's 3 of them. But then we also have Target. So like we said, Target was missing from the initial New York City Comic Con. So these were obviously the ones that were supposed to be at New York City Comic Con. These were 3 that leaked right away.
Yes.
This is why like you knew it was Target was missing, because these 3 were clearly supposed to be the ones that they were going to represent. I think these would have sold, all 3 of them honestly would have sold super fast if it was NYCC, because they probably would have been some of the more popular ones. But we do got Alexis from Schitt's Creek, which is great. So that's a cool pop. If you love that show, it's an awesome show. That's just an extension to that line that they already currently have. I don't know if making that a con pop is really like a con type of.
No, they should have.
And it's also not even like really a cool version. Like it's just pretty basic.
It's not, which a lot of people have been complaining about. I've seen online, and I mean, I don't know if you watched Schitt's Creek. I did. I love that show. They've only made the Rose family in pop form. There's tons of other characters. They should have made a side character as a con exclusive, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes more sense for a con exclusive.
Yeah, this is like lazy. I don't get it. It's weird.
Yeah, because they already have her.
Pop. They already have her. This is
another version.
This is a scene that's like an iconic scene in the show, but you don't know that unless you're a fan.
But not
of the
enough.
show.
Yeah, not enough to And then we got 2 more Target pops. So of course, Cad Bane, which was one I know you're super excited for. It's a super cool looking one. That I think is going to sell super fast. It's probably going to be one of the ones that's going to be very popular.
It's cool because the original Cad Bane from Clone Wars was a con exclusive as well. So this is him from Bad Batch. So I like that they kept that like a con exclusive pop. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that makes it cool. It's limited. And then we get another Diamond Pokemon, which we know that is the new norm when it comes to con exclusives. I'm not going to lie. I thought they already had a Pikachu Diamond.
So did I.
But I guess not. I mean, I know they have Charmander.
Unless they do in a different mold. But
Jolteon, Vaporeon, and all those. But yeah, maybe sitting down. But I mean, I don't know, man. Pikachu to me is Grogu right now, man. They do so many versions of him, and
it drives me crazy.
A little out of control.
I am a Pokemon fan, and like there are so many Pokemon. Like you can't it's ridiculous how many Pokemon there are in that franchise. Why aren't you making like these random rare ones for con exclusives, in my opinion? No one wants another. I mean, I know if you're a completionist or you collect all the Pokemon, pops, and you get the down ones, you're gonna get this. But yeah, at this point, like move on. Like Pikachu, there's plenty of pops. He is so, like you said, it's just like the Grogu ones. There's tons of him in different poses. Make a cool Pokemon.
It's interesting though, because I wonder if this is gonna skyrocket just like all the other Diamond Pokemon. Like those probably values on those are crazy.
I mean, honestly, I may try to get it just because.
Exactly. I was just gonna say. I was gonna say the same thing, because if I could do that and take advantage of it or whatever, I mean, even
though some people have posted online that this is already hit some Target shelves. So yes. It may be,
which is crazy because that's a whole nother thing. Like you might be able to just grab it yourself, but we all know the debacles with Target in general. But hopefully you get lucky. But then we got 4 more pops here, so we got 2 more from Entertainment Earth. So this one was one that when I saw, I thought was pretty cool. It's a Superman, so it's actually called Superman Wizard. Is the actual official name. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know like where this is from or like the actual
it's
like why
it's got a comic run. But
it's definitely a comic specific thing, but it looks super cool. Like I think the color on it is awesome. I like how he has like the little like ice stuff or whatever it is coming off of him. So that's a super cool one. That's Entertainment Earth. Then we have South Park pop here, which is interesting that we have. So this is Kyle. I think it's called like Kyle Tooth Check or something. It says something on his on his shirt, but yeah, it's a funny one. They haven't come out with South Park pops in a while, so that's an interesting one to have as a con exclusive. I think it's pretty cool. It fits well into like that. Okay, you only get this at a con type of thing. Then we got 2 more. This is from Hot Topic. So Hot Topic is dropping a DC pop. I think this is the only besides the Superman. We have Punchline, which is a pretty cool character because it's a cool character that you don't see really that often.
Are you
They
gonna pick
haven't
this one
made
up?
it. I don't know. I thought about it. A lot of the newer DC line, I've kind of been like back and forth on. Like I've grabbed like in previous cons, I grabbed what was his name, like Dead Man or whatever, the guy with like the
Oh,
white
yep.
face, and a couple of those. But then I'm like, and I'm like, there's just too many, and I was like, those are a couple that I'm actually gonna start to get rid of. So I may not go after it. I don't know like how exclusive, like how popular that'll be, but the last one we have is a Simpsons Pop. Of course, there's always like a Simpsons Pop usually
Yeah.
during a con. It's Flanders. This is the what is it? Stupid, sexy Flanders. I think it's
Yeah.
called something like that. Which is funny. He's skiing, so it's cool. I like the color. At first, when I saw this, I thought it was Blacklight because of the way the colors were.
I agree.
But
It
of
looks
course,
that way a
he's a
little.
Simpson, so of course he's already bright colored, anyways. But he's kind of like with his butt out, and he's on a ski, so it's a funny one. I think for the most part, some of these are pretty cool. They look cool. They look like they would be cons. I think some of them are a little lazy. I think like the Jasmine literally makes no sense. I think the Alexis was lazy. And then a couple were random, like
I
that
even think like
Goblin.
that
Goblin guy was weird.
Avatar one, super cool pop. It's actually a show I've always wanted to watch and just never have. But like,
Yeah.
how have you not like made this already? In my opinion, like
Yeah, and that's another one that they make a lot of them. They do have a lot.
they make a
They
ton.
make him in a lot of different poses and stuff.
It's a
so
very popular line. Like I don't
very.
And for someone who doesn't never seen the show, like I know what he's doing is like a major part of the franchise. Like, how have you never made this pop before? It just blows my mind.
Yeah,
But
and I'm sure that one will be one that will be very popular. It's going to
it
probably
will
still
be.
sell,
Yeah.
especially with the collectors that are big, whether you're anime or just Avatar in general. But yeah, that's the line. I mean, so 21 pops in total. What do you think you're like the most excited for on this? Maybe like your top 2 or 3.
My top 3 would have to be the Cad Bane, the Doctor Strange Supreme, and the John Lennon one.
Yeah. I would say mine are probably the Jimi Hendrix, the John Lennon, and it probably between the Superman and the Doctor Strange one's pretty cool too. The Cad Bane one's awesome too. But I feel like that's probably the only 5 that I'm like really would go after. The rest I'm kind of like meh, like I'll pass on it. Maybe try to get the Pikachu, maybe the Freddy.
There's one I'm
so
really
cool. It is a
like
basketball Freddy.
I like the Freddy one too. But speaking of Freddy, I don't understand how they don't have a Festival of Fun themed Freddy. Like it's a Christmas themed booth, and all of like the t-shirt that comes with the basketball one has like Freddy as an elf. How did you
and it's
not
an ornament on the back?
How did you not make that?
Well, because it's con? Like I mean, it's because of what we just said. Like
I know, but you could have like
this is New York City Comic-Con Pops, and they made a Christmas event. And when they made the event, they only made it so that they could sell what they left over and didn't get to sell. But they did nothing special about it. Like, yeah, there's no tie to the.
That's what bothers me. Going on, like you're right. There's no tie. Like, say what you want. Like, yes, we've gone on this entire episode saying what they've made of this event, but you could have at least put a little bit of effort in by making some pops for this exclusively, not just reusing. And how easy could it have been with the Freddy Funko? I mean, I don't get that. Like they're really gonna have nothing of the logo there besides the t-shirt, which they're bundling like literally with a pop.
Yeah, that's even crazier. But like you said, like even if this was something that came up super late and they were like last minute on doing it, like there's got to be a way that they can still get a turnaround on one pop, right? Especially if it's a Freddy, because that mold doesn't change. You literally just change his outfit. You can get that done. We're obviously we're talking as just random dudes that collect stuff, and we don't make this stuff. This could take a year to make, and we don't know. But what it seems like is that you could take a common mold of a Freddy and make him into whoever this mascot or whatever it is, and you make it super limited anyways. You only have to make 100 or 200 of them. You don't have to make it a big thing so that you're able to, because even just that, even if we knew we couldn't get our hands on it because it was only at the con, it was something, it's still just something cool just to know that it's out there and they at least have it. I think would have been exciting. Not even just to say like, me and Charlie would be something that we would get or would be able to get. But just the fact that it didn't get done, I agree.
I
I
also
think it
just
was
like
just kind of a
something
weird
doesn't
process.
sit well with me knowing that they're bundling that t-shirt with this pop. It makes me feel like that's their way of trying to push the pop because they don't think there's going to be that much interest in this Freddie Funko in a basketball jersey. So they're putting
Yeah.
it on an exclusive shirt you can only get at that event. And okay, we're going to make it more money because it includes a pop. Because I
Yeah.
mean, if I was there, I'd probably get that t-shirt. Like, but
No, but the thing is, I guarantee that you sell this pop in New York, where it clearly
it's
was supposed to
popular.
be, it's selling. You got people from, not that people don't travel to cons, because they obviously do,
Yeah.
but at New York City Comic Con, you're getting New York, New Jersey, you're getting the metro area, you're getting a lot of those people going to that convention. And whether you're a Knicks fan or not, because it doesn't say Knicks, but it's blue and orange, whether you're a Knicks fan or not, if you're a basketball fan or you're a Freddie fan or you're just a New York fan, New York sports in general,
You're going to want that.
all those people are going to want that, and it's going to sell. Like, now these may still sell because there's obviously options for us to get online and get them. But yeah, the being at the show, like that one that's at the show, it may not sell that fast. Like, who knows? But the one at the show is the one that they're throwing a t-shirt with. That's a Christmas related. I don't know. It's so crazy, man. We can keep going on, but I don't want to go too crazy about this because we've already been talking for a while about this. But that's our whole take on it. I mean, let us know what you guys think, because we love to hear what everybody else is also thinking, because everyone might have a completely different, aspect and outlook on this, because you may agree with us, you may disagree with us, but let us know like what you think. I think it was crazy. I know some people probably strongly think even worse than what we're saying.
Yes.
We're kind of just we're just saying that like we're bothered, but at the same time we also understand certain ways, certain reasons why things happen and whatever. It's just, I personally think the worst taste in my mouth is just the way they've been just doing it like nothing has happened, and not, making it, just owning up to the fact that they obviously messed up and now they're just spilling it over to this. It's just a weird thing. And the fact that they're doing it at a different con and they called it something and they're not really tying that to the event. Like, nothing is tied to a festival of fun, nothing is tied to Christmas, everything is tied to New York, because that's literally what it was originally originated as. So overall, I think it's gonna be crazy. But either way, like we said before, this is the week of Thanksgiving, so we really want to make sure that you guys are having a safe holiday. Make sure that if you guys do want to get some of these things, like I said, some of the Grogu stuff is going to drop on Tuesday. A couple things that drop on Friday. If you guys are going out Black Friday to shop, be safe, and hopefully you guys get a lot of stuff you want. I'm sure Funko related wise, if you guys are on Instagram, I'm sure people will be doing some specials for Black Friday. Like, I know there's a lot of companies that are going to be doing mystery boxes, things like that. So if you're into mystery boxes and stuff like that, buy accordingly, depending on who puts stuff out. Retailers themselves, I'm sure, will probably have some sales.
Some have even started.
Nothing has really been announced, but I think some stuff is started.
Like I know Amazon, if you search Funko, they've definitely been having some good deals. Like I know the other day they had some Mandalorian pops, some of the new ones for $5.99. Like, so it's already starting. So yeah, just like look at all the different retailers where there's just, some common ones that you've been wanting that you're going to be able to pick up. Like, you may be able to get a good deal, obviously.
Yeah. So keep a lookout for that. But yeah, that's going to be our episode this week. I know we went pretty hard on this whole topic, but it was just something that we both were super passionate about. And like, it's interesting, but either way, we're gonna still be excited for it. We still have another week before this even comes up, so I'm sure if we get more news related to this or more stuff in next week's episode, maybe we'll talk a little bit more into it. But as of right now, that's all the details. So just remember those dates. December 3rd is when this convention will go on online. But this week coming up, we have a couple drops and stuff like that. But we'll see if maybe we'll get some more news and stuff. I wonder how this week will go with news, because of it being technically like a short week because of the holiday. I'm sure we'll still get some surprising stuff that's going to drop. Maybe something out of nowhere.
There's still so many Funko exclusives that have leaked that
we're still waiting.
Where are they? But they're taking their time releasing them
Yeah,
sporadically.
it's gonna be interesting. I wonder if they'll drop more stuff on Friday besides the stuff we said as well. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out for it anyways. But like we said in the beginning, thank you guys so much for listening, watching. And if you are watching, we do want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to our channel. So just make sure that you subscribe, like this video. That helps us in the algorithm just by letting us know that you guys, appreciate everything that's going on here. It'll help YouTube get us out there to more people so we can get more people following us and listening to our podcast as well. So if you're listening, just make sure you are subscribed and following us through our different platforms on Apple, Spotify, that kind of stuff. And check us out obviously on our social media platforms. So our big one is Instagram, so at Collector Chatter. We're always on there posting about our episodes. I know between me and Charlie, we'll post a lot of polls, and when we see drops, we want to find out from you guys if you guys like some of the stuff that's dropping, etc. We're also big on, outside of Funko, we're big on Marvel and comics and movies and stuff. So when those things drop and stuff, we're always kind of trying to stay up to date with the news and letting you guys know as well. So just make sure you guys are following us, subscribing and everything like that. We appreciate all the support. We are growing little by little. It's been fun. It's awesome. And we're going to keep coming out with good stuff for you guys every week. Hopefully you guys do appreciate it, because we do appreciate you guys as listeners and followers and stuff like that. Anything else from you, Charlie?
No, just once again, thank you everyone for listening, and, have a great and happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take it easy.